Dharmakara's resolution to become a Buddha. The Buddha said to Ananda, having spoken these verses, the bhiksu Dharmakara said to the Buddha Lokeshvara Raja, respectfully, world-honored one, I announce that I have awakened aspiration for the highest perfect enlightenment. I beseech you to explain the Dharma to me fully, so that I can perform practices for the establishment of a pure Buddha land, adorned with infinite excellent qualities. So please teach me how to attain enlightenment quickly and to remove the roots of afflictions of birth and death for all. The Buddha said to Ananda. At that time, the Buddha Lokeshvara Raja replied to the bhiksu Dharmakara, you yourself should know by what practice you can establish a glorious Buddha land. The bhiksu said to the Buddha, that is far too vast and deep for my comprehension. I sincerely beseech you, world-honored one, to explain in detail the practices by which Buddhas, Tathagatas, established their pure lands. After I hear that, I wish to practice as instructed and so fulfill my aspirations. At that time, the Buddha Lokeshvara Raja recognized the bhiksu Dharmakara's noble and high aspirations and taught him as follows. If, for example, one keeps on bailing water out of a great ocean with a pint measure, one will be able to reach the bottom after many kalpas and then obtain rare treasures. Likewise, if one sincerely, diligently, and unceasingly seeks the way, one will be able to reach one's destination. What vow is there which cannot be fulfilled? Then the Buddha Lokeshvara Raja explained in detail the greater and lesser aspects of 210 kotis of Buddha lands, together with the good and evil natures of heavenly and human beings living there. He revealed them all to the bhiksu just as he had requested. Then the bhiksu, having heard the Buddha's exposition of the glorious pure land and also having seen all of them, resolved upon his supreme unsurpassed vows. His mind being serene and his aspirations free of attachment, he was unexcelled throughout the world. For 5 full kalpas he contemplated the vows, and then chose the pure practices for the establishment of his Buddha land. Ananda asked the Buddha, how long was the lifespan of beings in the land of the Buddha Lokeshvara Raja? The Buddha replied, the length of life of that Buddha was 42 kalpas. He continued, after that Dharmakara Bodhisattva adopted the pure practices which had led to the establishment of the excellent lands of 210 kotis of Buddhas. When he had finished this task, he went to the Buddha, knelt down at his feet, walked round him 3 times, joined his palms in worship and sat down. He then said to the Buddha, I have adopted the pure practices for the establishment of a glorious Buddha land. The Buddha said to him, you should proclaim this. Know that now is the right time. Encourage and delight the entire assembly. Hearing this, other bodhisattvas will practice this dharma and so fulfill their innumerable great vows. The bhiksu replied, I beg you to grant me your attention. Now I will fully proclaim my vows. Dharmakara's 48 vows. First, if, when I attain Buddhahood, there should be in my land a hell, a realm of hungry spirits, or a realm of animals, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Second, if, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should, after death, fall again into the 3 evil realms, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Third, if, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should not all be the color of pure gold, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Fourth, if, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should not all be of one appearance, and should there be any difference in beauty, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Fifth, if, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should not remember all their previous lives, not knowing even the events which occurred during the previous 100,000 kotis of nayutas of kalpas, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Sixth, if, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should not possess the divine eye of seeing even 100,000 kotis of nayutas of Buddha lands, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Seventh, if, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should not possess the divine ear of hearing the teachings of at least 100,000 kotis of nayutas of Buddhas, and should not remember all of them, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Eighth, if, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should not possess the faculty of knowing the thoughts of others, at least those of all sentient beings living in 100,000 kotis of nayutas of Buddha lands, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Ninth, if, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should not possess the supernatural power of traveling anywhere in one instant, even beyond 100,000 kotis of nayutas of Buddha lands, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Tenth, if, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should give rise to thoughts of self-attachment, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 11th, if, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should not dwell in the definitely assured state and unfailingly reach nirvana, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 12th, if, when I attain Buddhahood, my light should be limited, unable to illuminate at least 100,000 kotis of nayutas of Buddha lands, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 13th, if, when I attain Buddhahood, my lifespan should be limited, even to the extent of 100,000 kotis of nayutas of kalpas, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 14th, if, when I attain Buddhahood, the number of the Shravakas in my land could be known, even if all the beings and Pratyeka Buddhas living in this universe of 1,000 million worlds should count them during 100,000 kalpas, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 15th, if, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should have limited lifespans, except when they wish to shorten them in accordance with their original vows, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 16th, if, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should even hear of my wrongdoing, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 17th, if, when I attain Buddhahood, innumerable Buddhas in the land of the 10 quarters should not all praise and glorify my name, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 18th, if, when I attain Buddhahood, sentient beings in the lands of the 10 quarters who sincerely and joyfully entrust themselves to me, desire to be born in my land and call my name even 10 times, should not be born there, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Excluded, however, are those who commit the 5 gravest offenses and abuse the right Dharma. 20th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, sentient beings in the lands of the 10 quarters who, having heard my name, concentrate their thoughts on my land, plant roots of virtue, and sincerely transfer their merits towards my land with a desire to be born there, should not eventually fulfill their aspiration, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 21st. If, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should not all be endowed with the 32 physical characteristics of great men, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 22nd. If, when I attain Buddhahood, Bodhisattvas in the Buddha lands of the other quarters who visit my land should not ultimately and unfailingly reach the stage of becoming a Buddha after one more life, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Accepted are those who wish to teach and guide sentient beings in accordance with their original vows, for they wear the armor of great vows, accumulate merits, deliver all beings from birth and death, visit Buddha lands to perform the Bodhisattva practices, make offerings to Buddhas, Tathagatas, throughout the 10 quarters, enlighten uncountable sentient beings, as numerous as the sands of the river Ganges, and establish them in the highest perfect enlightenment. Such bodhisattvas transcend the course of practice of the ordinary bodhisattvas, manifest the practices of all the bodhisattva stages, and cultivate the virtues of Samantabhadra. 23rd. If, when I attain Buddhahood, bodhisattvas in my land, in order to make offerings to Buddhas through my transcendent power, should not be able to reach immeasurable and innumerable kotis of nayutas of Buddha lands in as short a time as it takes to eat a meal, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 24th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, bodhisattvas in my land should not be able, as they wish, to perform meritorious acts of worshipping the Buddhas with the offerings of their choice, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 25th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, bodhisattvas in my land should not be able to expound the Dharma with the all-knowing wisdom, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 26th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, there should be any bodhisattva in my land not endowed with the body of the Vajra god Narayana, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 27th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, sentient beings should be able, even with a divine eye, to distinguish by name, calculate by number all the myriads of manifestations provided for the humans and devas in my land, which are glorious and resplendent and have exquisite details beyond description, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 28th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, bodhisattvas in my land, even those with little store of merit, should not be able to see the Bodhi tree, which has countless colors and is 4 million li in height, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 29th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, bodhisattvas in my land should not acquire eloquence and wisdom in upholding sutras and reciting and expounding them, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 30th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, the wisdom and eloquence of bodhisattvas in my land should be limited, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 31st. If, when I attain Buddhahood, my land should not be resplendent, revealing in its light all the immeasurable, innumerable, and inconceivable Buddha lands, like images reflected in a clear mirror, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 32nd. If, when I attain Buddhahood, all the myriads of manifestations in my land, from the ground to the sky, such as palaces, pavilions, ponds, streams, and trees, should not be composed of both countless treasures which surpass in supreme excellence anything in the worlds of humans and devas, and of 100,000 kinds of aromatic wood, whose fragrance pervades all the worlds of the 10 quarters, causing all bodhisattvas who sense it to perform Buddhist practices, then may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 33rd. If, when I attain Buddhahood, sentient beings in the immeasurable and inconceivable Buddha lands of the 10 quarters, who have been touched by my light, should not feel peace and happiness in their bodies and minds, surpassing those of humans and devas, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 34th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, sentient beings in the immeasurable and inconceivable Buddha lands of the 10 quarters, who have heard my name, should not gain the Bodhisattva's insight into the non-arising of all dharmas, and should not acquire various profound dharanis, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 35th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, women in the immeasurable and inconceivable Buddha lands of the 10 quarters, who, having heard my name, rejoice in faith, awaken aspiration for enlightenment, and wish to renounce womanhood, should after death be reborn again as women, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 36th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, bodhisattvas in the immeasurable and inconceivable Buddha lands of the 10 quarters, who have heard my name, should not, after the end of their lives, always perform sacred practices until they reach Buddhahood, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 37th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in the immeasurable and inconceivable Buddha lands of the 10 quarters, who, having heard my name, prostrate themselves on the ground to revere and worship me, rejoice in faith, and perform bodhisattva practices, should not be respected by all devas and people of the world, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 38th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should not obtain clothing as soon as such a desire arises in their minds, and if the fine robes, as prescribed and praised by the Buddhas, should not be spontaneously provided for them to wear, and if these clothes should need sewing, bleaching, dyeing, or washing, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 39th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should not enjoy happiness and pleasure comparable to that of a monk who has exhausted all the passions, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 40th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, the bodhisattvas in my land who wish to see the immeasurable glorious Buddha lands of the 10 quarters should not be able to view all of them reflected in the jeweled trees, just as one sees one's face reflected in a clear mirror, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 41st. If, when I attain Buddhahood, bodhisattvas in the lands of the other quarters who hear my name should, at any time before becoming Buddhas, have impaired, inferior, or incomplete sense organs, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 42nd. If, when I attain Buddhahood, bodhisattvas in the lands of the other quarters who hear my name should not all attain the samadhi called pure emancipation, and, while dwelling therein, without losing concentration, should not be able to make offerings in one instant to immeasurable and inconceivable Buddhas, world-honored ones, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 43rd. If, when I attain Buddhahood, Bodhisattvas in the lands of the other quarters who hear my name should not be reborn into noble families after their death, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 44th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, Bodhisattvas in the lands of the other quarters who hear my name should not rejoice so greatly as to dance and perform the Bodhisattva practices and should not acquire stores of merit, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 45th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, Bodhisattvas in the lands of the other quarters who hear my name should not all attain the samadhi called universal equality, and, while dwelling therein, should not always be able to see all the immeasurable and inconceivable Tathagatas until those Bodhisattvas, too, become Buddhas, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 46th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, Bodhisattvas in my land should not be able to hear spontaneously whatever teachings they may wish, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 47th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, Bodhisattvas in the lands of the other quarters who hear my name should not instantly reach the stage of non-retrogression, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. 48th. If, when I attain Buddhahood, Bodhisattvas in the lands of the other quarters who hear my name should not instantly gain the first, second, and third insights into the nature of Dhammas and firmly abide in the truth realized by all the Buddhas, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Jusege, verses confirming the 48 vows. The Buddha said to Ananda, the Bhikkhu Dharmakara, having thus proclaimed those vows, spoke the following verses. I have made vows, unrivaled in all the world. I will certainly reach the unsurpassed way. If these vows should not be fulfilled, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. If I should not become a great benefactor in lives to come for immeasurable kalpas, to save the poor and the afflicted everywhere, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. When I attain Buddhahood, my name shall be heard throughout the 10 quarters. Should there be any place where it is not heard, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Free of greed, and with deep, perfect mindfulness and pure wisdom, I will perform the sacred practices. I will seek to attain the unsurpassed way, and become the teacher of devas and humans. With my divine power I will display great light, illuminating the worlds without limit, and dispel the darkness of the 3 defilements. Thus I will deliver all beings from misery. Having obtained the eye of wisdom, I will remove the darkness of ignorance. I will block all the evil paths, and open the gate to the good realms. When merits and virtues are perfected, my majestic light shall radiate in the 10 quarters, outshining the sun and the moon, and surpassing the brilliance of the heavens. I will open the Dharma store for the multitudes and endow them all with treasures of merit. Being always among the multitudes, I will proclaim the Dharma with the lion's roar. I will make offerings to all the Buddhas, thereby acquiring roots of virtue. When my vows are fulfilled and my wisdom perfected, I shall be the sovereign of the 3 worlds. Like your unhindered wisdom, O Buddha, mine shall reach everywhere, illuminating all. May my supreme wisdom be like yours, most excellent honored one. If these vows are to be fulfilled, let this universe of 1,000,000,000 worlds shake in response, and let all the devas in heaven rain down rare and marvelous flowers.